Hey, Jeremy, what's going on, bud?
Hey, mate. Paul, how are you? Good to
Thanks
see you,
for
mate.
good.
You're looking good.
Good. Got the Christmas tree up.
Yeah,
Only episode with the
I
Christmas
see
tree so
that.
far.
Yeah,
Well, cool. Well, thank
yeah,
you. Thank
pretty
you for
impressive
joining
Christmas
us
tree.
on Friday night behind the lens. This is going to be the actual
Thank you for
last
having me.
episode of the year.
Okay.
So,
Thanks for
yeah,
having me. Really appreciate your time.
yeah.
And
I spent some time with the UK guys. Now I'm trying to work my way over to Australia. I already had I had
Rory.
Rory Barron on here once. So
Yeah. You make your way down under.
yep. You know, it's crazy because if you ask Google what the farthest place away from where I live is, Australia is actually the farthest place on the planet
Really?
away. I mean, it's West Coast Australia, but I mean, it's just crazy that this technology works, you know?
Yeah, I feel like I'm a time traveler because I'm like 15 hours ahead of you. So
You're already in Monday, right? You're
yeah,
well into your
Monday,
Monday.
12 o'clock.
Yeah, I'm still trying to finish
Yeah.
up my Sunday over here. Oh, cool. Thanks so much for joining us. And
Yeah,
yeah,
all
this is
good,
gonna be,
man.
I think this is gonna be a great episode tonight.
Yeah, I hope so.
All right, so for those of you who don't follow Jeremy, for one, I encourage you to, and go over to his YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button, and I will put up all your links to your social media sites throughout this video and that down in the description. But you know, let everybody know a little bit about yourself, where you come from, all that kind of stuff.
Excuse me. Yes, I live in Queensland, a city called the Gold Coast. I was just telling you before, it's pretty much like Miami. It's called Australia's Playground. We've got the best beaches, surf beaches, amusement parks here, like the biggest in Australia. I think there's 3 or 4 of them here. So a lot of Australians come to the Queensland for holidays, especially the Gold Coast. But originally I grew up in New Zealand. And then I did my chefing apprenticeship in New Zealand, traveled a lot around, came back to Australia, went to Europe, lived in England for 2 years, came back to Australia, met my wife, got married, had kids. So yeah,
Okay.
it's
Yeah, you and I could do a whole.
life.
We could do a whole restaurant video.
Oh, probably, yeah, and play metal music the whole time.
Yeah. Yes. Exactly. Yeah, I got my.
Yeah.
I'm not going to do a restaurant one. That'll just give me so much
No.
anxiety about going back to that kind of life. So
Oh, tell me about it.
I think it's
It's a
best
young
just-
man's game.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, cool. Again, thank you for joining us. You know, I've wanted to have you on here since I started this show. You know, it's just kind of spread myself out around the world.
Yeah,
You know, I've kind of focused on the UK, but now it's time to get to some of you great Australia guys over there, and there are quite a few over there.
Yeah, there's a lot of us out here. There's not too many on YouTube, which is surprising. I think there's a couple of big guys around the 50K mark, you know, sort of subs, but some around 2K, but there's not, you know, there's more Northern Hemisphere sort of YouTubers out there. So it's good to be out here in Australia doing it.
Do you know any of these guys personally that you follow their channels on over here? Have you ever met up with?
No. Well, Rory, who you mentioned before, I think he lives like 40 minutes up the road from me.
Yeah, he's in Brisbane,
but
right?
I'm 40 minutes south of Brisbane. But we've DM'd each other and we're going to meet up and do a collab at some stage. I'm not sure when. Yeah, I don't know any of the others though.
That would be fantastic to see you and Rory meet up. You know, he's got a great channel as well.
He's a nice guy by the sounds of it. So yeah,
he's got his hands full. I know his work has been picking up here lately, and then you know he's got a baby. You know, so his hands are full. But
yeah, young baby, it makes it even harder.
Exactly. All right, cool. So are you a full-time photographer? Is it something you do on the side as a maybe semi-pro, or is it just purely a hobby for you?
I like to think I'm a full-time photographer. So yeah, I'm full. I like to think I'm full-time. I started out about 10 years ago, just mucking around with a camera basically, and then sold my prints at the markets over the last 3 years. You know, the local markets we have here on the Gold Coast.
Sure.
And then due to COVID, I lost my job as a chef and sort of invested more time into becoming a full-time YouTuber. So that's my goal ultimately, to become full-time or pro. But yeah, at the moment I'm just do YouTube channels and sell some prints at my local market.
Okay.
Other than that,
do you do anything kind of like Dave kind of spreads himself around? Dave LaFan, who I had on last week, he's doing portraits and things like that. Have you branched out into any of that yet, or not quite yet?
I think you watched the video I did. I did start it in. I was going to do weddings and sort of commercial shoots. It wasn't really for me. Like, I think you have to enjoy it 100% to give 100%. And wasn't into it that much, and I was sort of just concentrating on landscape. I know a lot of them make their side hustle, commercial or architect, doing real estate photography or portrait shooting weddings and what have you. But I just stick to landscape. But funny you mentioned that, because when I put those old photos up of the models I took, I was like, man, I should get back to that. I kind of liked it.
I really enjoyed those. I thought they were fantastic. That's really the only reason I asked if you're doing a little bit of that on the side, because those photos were great.
No, it was stylized shoot. So my friend was the makeup artist, and we'd get a model, and we did like these stylized Red Riding Hood one. There's a vampire one. I forget the other one. But I'd help her out. I'd take photos for her makeup page or whatever she was doing. I'd get free makeup and a model, and we just go out and have fun and shoot. It was really relaxed. It was fun to do. Yeah. So I wouldn't probably mind doing that again now, looking back on those photos, for sure.
I have a friend who lives up in Orlando. He used to work for me when we were in the restaurant business, and then he's quit since and just does photography full time. And Orlando is a big place for cosplay.
And
sure. He does these big cosplay shoots at his studio, awesome. But he also goes into the parks like Disney and Universal and places like that, and he'll do like free photo shoots just to drum up business back to him. So I mean, it's pretty elaborate. Some of these the makeup that people go through, like you said, the makeup artists and the outfits that they have. It's a whole cosplay photography is kind of a whole separate genre.
Oh, definitely. There's lots of people into that pop culture cosplay thing, especially in America. So there's a market there. Why not do it?
Yeah, exactly. What you got in your camera bag right now?
Well, I've always shot Nikon, so I've got a mirrorless Z6. I only had it for 6 months. I actually drowned my full-frame DSLR making a vlog for YouTube, so it was a bit of a downer that day. It fell in the river.
Yeah, I've been there.
I was cursing and swearing, and came home, and I was pretty down on myself. And then the wife sort of gave me the go ahead to go get a brand new, so I jumped to mirrorless. And I was thinking at the time, I think the X-T4, the Fuji was just released, so I was contemplating like switching a different system. But in the end, I had a lot of Nikon glass. I thought, well, what's the point in
why change over?
Changing? At least I can get an adapter and still use that on my Nikon camera.
How do you like it so far?
Mirrorless?
Yeah. The Z6.
Yeah, I like it. Jumping from mirrorless, there were a lot of pros and cons, and a lot of people. I did a reviews and online to see what people thought, and a lot of people didn't adjust to it. But I jumped straight on. I love mirrorless now. I don't think I would go back to a DSLR, to be honest with you.
Yeah, see, I couldn't really see the difference. I was shooting, kind of an entry level.
It's just the live view, I think, is the main difference. Obviously, you've got that digital live view on the mirror. And DSLR, you can just look straight through. And
what are you using when you're vlogging?
Okay, it's just a cheap. What's right here? Actually, it's a little Canon M50.
Okay.
The only thing I like about it is it's got that flip out screen.
I think a lot of people use that, don't they?
I think a lot use the M100. That shoots in 4K. This is the basic kit one. Great little camera. It's limited. The image inbuilt stabilization is not very good. So when you're on the stick, or it gives that juddery feel to it. But I'm hoping to upgrade next year, maybe to that DJI Pocket 2. Have you seen that?
I have, yeah.
On a little gimbal.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4K. I think for what I do a lot of walking, so I think it'd be better for my style of vlogging for sure. So
yeah, I switch back and forth between using my Sony ZV-1 or my GoPro.
Yep.
If I know there's not going to be any wind out, I get my GoPro out, because you can just hold it out in front of you and walk and talk.
You got a ZV-1? I've been looking into, and that was an option too, the ZV-1.
No, they're great little cameras, and I've been really happy with it so far. I'm on version number 2, because I lost one during I was vlogging for a lighthouse challenge with Jim Fisher. Him and I were doing this lighthouse challenge, and I set it on a tripod on a jetty.
Yep.
And I was filming myself, but it was during one of our tropical storms or hurricanes, and I turned my back for a second and shattered the whole thing.
My story.
Yeah. And luckily my wife sounds just like you and gave me the go ahead for it. So, you know,
Yeah, I know.
thank goodness for
When
the
you
wife.
mope around the house, for a couple of days, she's just like, "You're all right. Just spend your money."
Good deal. All right, so take us back to your very first YouTube video, which was about what, a little over just over a year ago, right?
Yeah, yeah, about September. I can't remember. September, I think it was. Yeah. So I just bought that camera I showed you.
Yeah.
I got my tax money back. For some reason in Australia, we have our end of our financial year in June. Yours is at the end of the year, isn't it?
No, ours is well, yeah. I mean, but we don't have to file until April 15th. So
Yeah,
that's kind of when we finish it. Yeah.
Well, I got tax money back, and the first thing I did was go buy this little vlogging camera. I thought, you know, might as well vlog my adventures and see if I get any, you know, how it goes. So we went on a family holiday, me and the kids and the wife, and I just got it out and pushed record, and the rest is history, really. So yeah,
what
I'm kind of glad I got it.
Do you ever go back and look at that video and think, you know?
No. I never look at any of my videos. I'll edit them, and then I'll call the wife over. Said, "I'll say, sit down, watch this, tell me what's wrong with it," and then I'll put that. I won't ever revisit them. I just don't know. It's just me. It's just a creative thing. It's like a photo. I'll edit. I'll sit down for 2 hours and edit it. I'll be all right, and then I don't ever want to see that photo again. You know what I mean? It's like, because I'll pick at it and I'll be like, I should have done that to it. I should have done this to it.
Yeah. Well, when I was growing up, I was a musician. I was the same way. You know, I'd love to write the music. I love to record the music. And obviously you got to listen to it when you're recording the music and editing it. But once it was done, I didn't want anybody else. I didn't want to be around the first time people listen to it. Here's the cassette. Listen to it. Tell me what you think. Yeah,
I'm the same. I'll be editing a photo or whatever. My wife will be over my shoulder. I'll be like, "Go away! Don't look at it. It's not finished yet." You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, that's me.
That's funny. I always get my wife involved and kind of get the last approval too. You know, hey, what do you think?
Yeah,
about this?
When it's done, but yeah, not in the process. You're like, "Oh, that looks good," and I'm like, "No, it doesn't. It's not ready."
How do you feel your style's changed though? Even though you don't go back and look at your old stuff, how do you feel it's changed over the year?
Yeah, I guess the more you do it, the more investment you're putting yourself in. So I think I want to do better B-roll. You know, at the beginning, it's just you take your camera out, you just shoot. Now I sit down, I sort of plan it. I'll have a whiteboard here. I'll jot down some ideas, what the next video can be. Maybe think in my head about B-roll. So it's not just before I just turn up to a location, get it out. Hey, I'm here at so-and-so, and I'm going to shoot this. So I want to give more to people than just watching. Like, the idea was just landscape adventures, really. Sure. But I think you have to put a bit more in it to get a bit more out of it. If you know what I mean.
Do you do any drone footage right now, or not quite yet?
I got a drone. Yeah, I only use it for B-roll. I don't take photos with it or anything else. Just B-roll, really.
Yeah. I'm thinking of getting one. My oldest son wants to kind of join in with me on it, and he's kind of a gamer anyway. So it might come kind of natural flying it to him, hopefully. And he wants to, at least do all my drone footage for me. So I was kind of thinking it's a good idea, especially here in Florida, because, we don't have those big vistas like you have, where you can, look out and see these mountains and valleys and stuff like that. So I think it might help the actual video to, actually have some drone footage in there as well.
Yeah, puts another angle on it, doesn't it? Ups your game a little bit.
Yeah, it gives a little bit of elevation to the flat land here.
Yeah. So. It's a bit daunting. Like when I first got it, it's like $1,000 piece of machinery, and you're flying it 2K up in the air. It's like, whoa, I don't want to. I crashed it like the second day I had it, and I thought, no. But it survived. So it's a learning curve too, just flying the drone, and it's something I want to get good at as well for my B-roll. But at the moment, I'm still a rookie at it. I admit that. So.
Are you careful when you take it out? Like if it's, it's kind of slightly windy, or you just don't risk it? Or
it seems to hold all right in the wind. It's more when you're in the forest or there's trees around, it's more nerve-wracking. It has got sensors, like as it approaches the tree, it'll start beeping, but I still have hit a tree regardless of those sensors. So that's and taking it into a rainforest, and because it goes off a satellite, it won't rise a certain height because it knows where it is, so it's very difficult to fly in a forest and rainforest and so forth. So open land, seascape, you're by the beach, or open fields, perfect. eye, you can see it, but when you can't, it's very scary.
Yeah, I'm sure. Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Oh, you're right. I mean, it's a $1,000+ investment, you know,
Yeah.
and it could drop right
Yeah,
into the water. It could drop in, you know, it could be
exactly.
attacked by birds, you know, whatever.
Well, yeah, magpies. I don't know if you know what a magpie is. A black and white bird. I've had them swoop my drone while it's up there, so
That's
bring
great.
it home quickly.
It's good. I guess that would be good footage if you got that and it survived, right?
Yeah, that would be.
So cool. Your channel just passed 400 subscribers. Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I'm surprised myself. Yeah, appreciate that.
What for one, like, how are you doing it? Because you've been just a little over a year, and you know that's great growth for it.
Yeah.
Do you do any kind of promotion for it, or is it you just put it out? And
when I was at 50 subs, I don't know if you know, do you know Tim Day, English, UK? He actually does a shout out for small YouTube channels.
Oh, that's good.
He used to, and he did mine, and he does 3 channels a year or every 6 months, and he actually gave me a shout out, and that gave me 50 subs just on that shout out alone.
Wow.
So I was up to 100 and something. Yeah, I was really appreciative of that. And I haven't promoted as such, just on the usual socials. You know, your Facebook, Instagram, word of mouth. You know, bribing friends and family, they better subscribe, bro. Won't speak to them again.
Yeah.
Things like that. But to be honest, I have got my own photography page on Facebook, so I have paid, and you know, you can pay. So I'll put the link of my YouTube on my Facebook, and you can pay $20 and it'll get. I have done that. Yeah. Just
extra. Yeah. Do you get any kind of return from that, you feel?
I've been looking at it. I don't like. You'll get clicks, people on there, but I don't know if it's. It might be worse if you want to drop $200 or $300 on it, but I'm only dropping like $20. I don't. Yeah, maybe if you went full in and put $300-400 or whatever dollars in advertising, you might, or Google advertisement, you might get some feedback from that and some subs. But
yeah, I was talking to Dave LaFan last week, and I get more. I don't know, traffic, I guess, from Facebook than I do from Instagram. And I spend a lot of time promoting out like this show and then my weekly vlog, and looking at it. I mean, Facebook far outweighs Instagram as far as my traffic goes. Now he says it's backwards for him. He gets a lot more engagement out of Instagram. So I don't know what the difference is. Maybe just
it's a big analytics game.
Yeah.
Yeah, the analytics of it all.
Can really drive yourself crazy trying to figure it out.
Yeah, it does. It does. You're wondering what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong. And that's another thing. I study my analytics quite a bit. I've started to get into that. I don't know if you do that.
I do.
Like, you know, you click through rates and, you know, your impressions and all that. So that helps if you understand all that and work towards, go through your old video analytics and see what's doing better and what's not, and maybe do something along those styles again.
To me, it's like working in a restaurant still, you know, managing a restaurant. I get up get to the restaurant in the morning. First thing I do is pull up the reports from the previous day and analyze those, and the weekly reports, and the monthly profit and loss statement, and things like that.
Exactly.
And it's the same kind of, thing that I look for with that, you know, to see where I can do better in this area or that area. So, you know, I try not to bring in that kind of stress to it, but you know, if you want to push forward, you gotta realize what you're doing right and wrong.
I always see YouTube as like this iceberg. At the top of the iceberg is your channel at a face value, what everyone sees, and then underneath is all your analytics, you know, all your production time, all your, like, you're a one-man team, you're a production team, a director, you're catering, you're everything. So, and you've got to take it all on board. I don't realize that when I first started YouTube, you know, I just thought I'll upload it, but like I was saying, it's more you invest in it.
Yeah,
you've got to put that time in and understand all that other side to YouTube.
It'd actually be a great, I don't know if I'll ever do it, but it seems like a great episode for a vlog to show all the work that goes into it behind the scenes.
Landscape photography is hard enough as it is. And then on top of that, you're vlogging as well. You know, you've got all these elements again, just the weather, time. And you're right. It'd be good for people starting out, at least. I don't think that anyone's ever done it. Like starting out landscape photography on YouTube and just going through it all would help a lot of people benefit from it, I think.
Definitely. So one of my favorite parts about your video and videos and Rory's videos is seeing Australia, right? You know, someplace I've never been, probably never will go, unfortunately, at this age.
You can stay at my house, Paul. The bed here for you, mate.
Careful what you ask for, but okay, got it.
Yeah,
but you know, all my life I've had this you know, conception in my head of what Australia looks like. But every time I see a video of yours or from Rory, it kind of shatters that conception of what I think Australia looks like. And it's really, I guess it's kind of like the United States. I mean, you have so many different areas. We don't really have the rainforest part of it, but you know, we have the Everglades swamp down here in Florida. But you know, it just blows my mind when I watch your videos how vast Australia is and the different landscape regions that you have.
Yeah, it's I think the same. If you took it, it's the same size as North America, the United States, from coast to coast. Obviously, a different shape. Where others are weird shape and yours is more. But yeah, same landmass size. The state I'm in, Queensland, is absolutely massive. You can have dry desert, golden beaches, some of the best beaches in the world, and rainforests. So where I live, 20 minutes from the beaches, some of the best surf beaches in the world. Then I travel inland, 30 minutes to those rainforests. So I've got the best of both worlds. I can do seascapes in the wintertime down the beach, or I can go up in the hills behind me here and get up into the rainforest. So I'm quite lucky in that sense.
I would think most people when they think from here, think of Australia, they think of, you know, the outback, right? You know, because that's been in movies and stuff like that. But do you actually ever really go out there?
I've been in Northern Territory. It's dry and hot. What you see in the movies, it's pretty desolate. A lot of it's flat. There's some beautiful scenery out there, but like I said, it's about 41, 42 degrees most times. Yeah, there's some. Yeah, I want to get out there next year. I want to do a lot more traveling around Australia. Obviously restricted this year due to some weird thing called COVID, but yeah, but that's my plan. Yeah, to get
very desolate, very few people that live out there, right? I mean, just few and far in between, right?
Yeah, well, Australia, I'd say 80% of people live on the East Coast.
Yeah.
And then over in Perth is the most isolated city in the world. I think it's 1.2 million. So it's on the West Coast. It's the only city. So yeah, that's Australia in a nutshell, really.
What is the West Coast of Australia look like? Is it similar to the East Coast?
These turquoise, beautiful seas, because it goes onto the Indian Ocean there.
Is it warmer on that side? Like consistently warmer throughout the year, or?
The north, yeah, I'd say. The south gets cold around Perth, the city of Perth, during winter.
Yeah.
I'd live there in a heartbeat. But it's a very isolated city in terms of the nearest cities a 3-hour flight away. So, and that's Adelaide, South Australia. So
the more north you go up towards, you know, like the North Coast and stuff, is it become more tropical, more rainforest up there?
Yeah. So I'm on the border of New South Wales and Queensland, and as you go up, it gets tropical, hotter, steamier. So it's the Great Barrier Reef sort of up that way, and a lot of tourists do that. So yeah.
All right. So you just mentioned COVID. So I was just looking at your COVID numbers for the entire thing, and Australia looks like you've done a better job than virtually anybody in the entire world. So, you know, congratulations there. It's amazing that a country, you know, I know you're isolated and everything, but I mean, I know your government has put, you know, restrictions into place like other places, and really have had a lot of success. I know you have less, you've had less we have more cases in one day than you've had during the entire time. And it's insane. So, you know, great job on whatever you guys are doing out there. What kind of restrictions did you face, and what are you currently still under?
We haven't had one in my state for 80 days, though, COVID. I'm not saying it's not out in the community, but there hasn't been one tested. For me, just on a quick personal note, my wife's actually an emergency department nurse. So she firsthand was dealing with, you know, COVID patients. Sure. And I saw the stress and strain on her coming home. So, you know, that on a personal level, it was quite hectic. But yeah, like you said, our state government, our premier, we locked our borders down. You could leave Queensland, but you couldn't come in. You needed a special declaration that you printed off and signed that said you hadn't been to any of the areas that were quite affected by it. So like Sydney, Melbourne, and if you came in, you had to 2-week quarantine. They were guarded by military and police coming into our state. So I think that overall, in hindsight, like I was writing them off during the time. Oh, you know, we can't go anywhere, we can't do anything. But
Sure.
in the long run, yeah, it worked. So I'm very grateful.
So
for
you
that.
actually had some kind of enforcement, right? You said to monitor and check and to protect the borders of the state.
Yeah, you couldn't come into Queensland, my state, anyway, from anywhere unless you had the stat declaration saying you hadn't been in contact, hadn't gone to any hot areas that were like the centre of Sydney was quite bad at the time, and Melbourne, another major city. You couldn't come into my state at all.
Now, have they relaxed the restrictions a little bit over time? Or?
Yeah, it's pretty much back to normal. I don't think we're letting international visitors in. Not too sure, but you still need a declaration, I think, but they don't stop you at the border. You just drive through as long as you've got that declaration to say you haven't been anywhere. Yeah, but
that's really the secret, though. The international thing is as much as I want to travel, I wouldn't expect any country in the world right now to let an American in. You know, it's not safe. You know, people who have locked down their borders from international travel, it seems to me they've had the most success. And yeah, you know, I think we've all bitched and moaned about it, right, throughout the whole thing. You know, open this up, open that back up. Let's get back to normal. But you guys are doing a great job. So glad to hear that you can start moving around a little bit more, and maybe we can see a little bit more of that in your videos.
Yeah, stretch the legs.
Exactly. Hey, this wasn't on my list of questions. Tell me about the truck that's in your video, the white truck. You know which one I'm talking about?
That's my Toyota. It's got so that thing on the back's a tent, pops out, 2-man tent, big mattress in it. So it's like a queen size bed, and it's a 4-wheel drive, so I can take that basically anywhere. And that was the purpose of getting it. We go camping with the kids, and I can go somewhere and just pull it out. So you unzip it, and it's a one-man operation. It takes like 2 minutes, and you've got this huge tent with a mattress in it, and you can sleep in there.
That's awesome. I think that was the very first video, right? You took a trip
it's been
down
in
to
a couple.
Beach.
Yeah. It's a good little second home. That
I bet. That's nice to have.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
So I'm going to try to share my screen with you. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't. So give me a second here. And I asked you to send me a couple of your photos, and let's see if I can get these up on the screen for you. Hold on one second.
Let's dissect them.
All right. So yeah, beautiful photo. Tell us a little bit about this one.
All right. So this is in the city we were just talking about, Perth in WA. I went there with a holiday. My sister-in-law lived there. She doesn't live there anymore, but we took the family over. And this is called Fremantle Power Station. I think it was disbanded in 1980 or something. So I was looking for places to shoot while I was over there. I researched this place, and it had a lot of urban myths, legends about it. That's why I chose it. I got there the morning of, and I'm setting my camera up, my tripod where it is. And the stories behind this is there's been a lot of suicides and murders and occult, you know, punk kids going in there and doing their listening to Slayer and sacrificing animals or what. Anyway, they're urban. I don't know if they're true or not. So I'm standing here taking this shot, and the bushes to the left here, I don't know if you can see those green bushes there.
Yep.
This dog comes out, because I heard they sacrificed animals in there out of nowhere. There's no one around. This dog comes out and just looks at me dead and straight in the eyes. It's looking me up and down. I'm a bit, you know, blurry-eyed. It's early in the morning. I'm looking around for a zone. I'm thinking, what's going on here? And his stance, you know, you can read a dog, whether it's wagging his tail or panting. His ears were up, and he was laser vision straight at me. I'm like, oh, this dog's going to go me. So I'm thinking, I've got my tripod. I'll take my camera off. I've got my tripod here. Comes round this corner here. You can see on the left hand. I was thinking it's going to come round, and I said, "I won't worry about it. I'll take another shot." I took a photo, looked up, it'd gone. I forgot about it. Yeah, you know, a couple of weeks later, I got home and then edited this photo, and I'm zooming in, and I saw that dog, and I'm like, "Wow!" Just a creepy sort of story. I called my wife and said, "See that dog there? It just was there 1 minute, it's gone the next." There was no one else around this area. I don't know if it was a wild dog or a ghost from the occult happenings or what, but yeah, he just disappeared, and just like that, he was gone.
I tried to zoom in on this. There's some spray paint up there. Can you tell what that says?
Yeah, I think it said something about the gym.
I can't read it.
Yeah.
But to me, that's a really cool feature of this photo, you know?
Yeah, the whole place is cool. You can actually go. I didn't want to go on there by myself. It was early morning, as I said. I'm telling those stories, but yeah, there's a lot of spray painting and kids hang out there and do their thing or whatever, you know.
Sure.
But I think they're pulling it down. I don't know if it's still standing. They're gonna, you know, what developers are like. They're pulling it down and putting apartments there. So I'm not sure if it's still standing, but that's their goal, to pull it down.
They're going to build apartments on places where there was occults and suicides.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
All right,
Murders.
Let me see if I can try to share this next photo here.
Yeah, Charlahan Falls. That's what I'm talking about. The back of my, well, it's about an hour drive from my house, and then it's actually on a 20-kilometer walk to get to this. So that's just over 12 miles. I believe.
Yeah.
Excuse me. So it's not an easy stroll to get to. And I tried to photograph this 3 or 4 times before, and I just couldn't through the creeks. Getting to it were flooded. I couldn't cross them. My car going up the hill, the clutch gave out one day, so I had to come home. Yeah, just like 4 attempts to get to this waterfall. It just was just on my bucket list. And we had this big downpour, and I rang my mate up and said, "Mate, let's go on this walk." And he wasn't too keen, but I talked him into it. 20K, who would want to do a 20K walk?
Sure, yeah.
And we got here and we're covered in leeches. And
I've heard you mention that in your videos.
Yeah, no. Yeah, and I managed to get I got to the waterfall and took a few shots. I think this is the better one of them all. So yeah,
what a shot! What a result! You know, once you get to that end of that 12K, wow.
Yeah.
Now is there a path back here to get to this, or is it are you kind of, you know?
Yeah. Can you see my mouse cursor or not?
No, I can zoom in for you if you want.
You can actually, if you zoom in, you'll see a sign, the name of the waterfall there. It's on a rock right in the middle.
I can't read it, but
yeah, that's the name of the waterfall. Well, there's a track. Yeah, there it is. Well, there's a track that walks in behind that rock, and then you go up and back around and over the top.
Oh, okay, I see.
Way back. So it's a loop circuit.
Yeah.
So this is probably halfway along the 20K circuit. So you walk in and then up, back around the top of it, and head back towards that.
That is a fabulous photo. That's just fantastic. That would make it all worth it to go through all that to get that shot, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I was happy with it.
Yeah.
Sure.
All right, man. We are almost out of time here.
Okay.
40 minutes goes by so fast, doesn't it?
Was that 40 minutes?
Yeah, well, I know we kind of
no, you're right.
Talked a little bit before we started recording, but I mean, we're
good
at
old yarn. Yeah.
So, you know, hey, thank you so much for joining me tonight. You know, this has been fantastic. You know, I'm taking a little bit of time off because, you know, working in the restaurant, I've never really spent any time with my family during Christmas because it's one of the busier times in the restaurant. So I'm gonna take the next couple of weeks and kind of just enjoy being around for them and with them. And I think I'll get started again after the first of the year. But you know, I'd like to get some, you know, kind of like I did the UK guys. I'd like to get 4 or 5 of you guys on here from Australia. Just have a meetup, and you know, maybe you guys all know each other, maybe you don't. That would be fantastic if you didn't and met somebody new. So
met someone, get to know them.
Before we go, so I know you have an Instagram site, you have a Facebook site, and then YouTube channel. Do you actually have a website as well?
No, I did, but I don't know, but I'm going to work on that. Definitely get a website up just to sell prints, you know.
Well, I'm going to put all your social media links here in the description below. I might try to put them up at the screen so people can see them as well. But yeah, this has been absolutely fantastic, Jeremy. Thank you so much for coming on.
Hey, I just want to appreciate you having me, and you're a bloody legend for having me on. And you're doing God's work with interviewing these photographers. So
it's my pleasure. This has been the best part of it for me. It's just to get to know people from around the world a little bit.
Champion.
All right, my friend. Have a great what are you in a day? Have a great day.
Yeah, it's nearly 1 o'clock, so go have some lunch.
Can't wait to your next video. I know you just came out. You're doing one a week now, right?
Trying to. It's hard, man. It's hard. Like you said, I'll probably do 1, maybe 2 more, and take Christmas off, just chill.
Yeah.
And then next year, just hit the ground running, I hope.
Perfect. Yeah. Well, Merry Christmas to you and a Happy New Year.
You too, man.
I know it's not going to change immediately after the new year, but it can't suck any worse than this year. So
yeah, mate.
All right, my friend.
Stay safe over there, eh?
Yeah, you too, buddy.
Yep.
Thanks, Jeremy.
Yeah, mate.
We'll see you. Bye.